Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show. Don't touch the remote. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great show here. This is all about scrubbing, you know. It's like scrubbing. You remember we had the scrub thing where you put the clothes there, put the soap in there, and then you scrub it? Well, we're going to do a little scrubbing down there at the Schuylkill River. The Schuylkill River, we've got a beautiful river there. What we got to do is clean the banks. The banks of the Schuylkill River, everybody's throwing junk in there. So we got an outfit that's coming together, and it's called Scrub. I remember when I went to Rittenhouse Junior High School, and our cheerleader with the football team, scrub them up, beat them up, hang them on the line. We can beat Stewart any old time. So now we're going to say, beat them up, scrub them up, hang them on the line. We can clean up the Schuylkill River any old time. And my guest today is one of the guys right out front. He's doing all the punching, bobbing and weaving, slipping and sliding. James Waters. Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show. Okay, now I know you're bobbing and weaving there trying to get some things done, and you are getting things done.
Absolutely.
And people are jumping in.
Absolutely.
The Schuylkill River.
Well, it's our drinking water, and we have to understand what goes on the streets ends up in the river, and it also ends up in the ocean.
Right.
And some of the trash that's on the streets of Norristown can get down into the ocean and end up killing some of the animals. Plastic bags, very bad, very bad. Certain animals think that they're food. They eat them, it gets in their stomach, and they die. So, I mean, that's the humanity part of this. But the Schuylkill Scrub has been going on for quite a while, and this is the first year.
It's called the Schuylkill Scrub.
Schuylkill Scrub. And the idea is that we're going to clean up the watershed. Now, the last time I was here, we talked about the watershed.
Yeah.
The roof runs off, the sheds the water into the rain gutters. Well, the thing is, anything that's laying on the roof ends up in the water. Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to take, it actually goes on for 2 months. And we can take that time to do individual things, individual groups. Now, what we have coming together so far, the Stony Creek anglers, they've been cleaning the Stony Creek up for years. Yeah. And I remember the first one that they did, they had 2 dumpsters totally full. Now, this year, it's not bad. There was 11 tires, a teddy bear.
11 tires.
11 tires, a teddy bear, right, a park bench, 58 bags of trash. A kid's play set, a chair.
What area was this?
This was the Stony Creek. This is what
the Stony Creek. Oh, okay.
The anglers. This is what the anglers cleaned up. I mean, and it's a lot less than it used to be. In fact, their most unique find, I think it was last year, was an old rusty gun. And boy, that draw a lot of interest. But the other thing now, West Norton got involved in it also. And the commissioners are behind it. We have newspaper articles here, you know, that are supporting it. We got a lot of really good press. But the West Norton Little League, they had 12 bags of recycle.
The baseball team.
The baseball team.
I had them on my show here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great thing. Yeah. And there was, I forget, I made a note. I think it was something like 23 people were there, you know, working on it. The Valley Forge Watershed, we made our first move. And that's a 500-gallon propane tank that washed down from Reading or whatever.
Here it is. It's right here. I don't know if you can get a close-up on that. Let's see. Yeah, and down there.
And there's another tank that we're working on.
Along the river.
But, yeah, I mean, the fact is that Earth Day, right, Riverfront Park, they cleaned up 4 tons of trash, 30 tires, and they removed a dangerous tree by the boat club. By the boat ramp. Now there is what we did to recycle it. We made a drain pipe and 2 fireplace pots for burning, you know, campfire stuff.
Campfires.
So the thing is that what we're trying to prove here is that
they could get them and put them in the ocean, then the fish could go in there and live in there.
There's another story. That's another thing.
No?
Yes. In fact, they do build reefs and stuff with sunken ships. I mean, that's a fact. But the Riverfront Park on Earth Day, on the actual Earth Day, they had over 60 people there. They planted flowers.
Hawes Avenue?
Hawes Avenue. 4 tons of trash, 30 tires, and some other issues that were there that were taken care of. Now, Friday, May 5th, the community service people are going to be there, and they're working on...
Well, who are they? Who they consist of?
I think they're the ones that the judges have to do community service because
good.
of something
Well,
that
in other words,
did.
they did a
DUIs.
little couple of bad things and they're going to straighten them out.
Yeah, and the thing is that I believe that there's some philosophies
Nothing wrong with that.
that this helps.
Right.
That gets them closer to the earth and makes them realize that maybe some of the things that they need to do better. But then the 7th, May 7th, is going to be a mass collection. All the clubs in Port Indian, the ski club, the boat club,
Well, them boat
the rowing
clubs.
the association, the people that live there, and the Watershed, along with the fire department and the police in Norristown, they're going to have boats picking
Chief
stuff
O'Donnell.
all over the place.
Chief O'Donnell helping out there.
He is the main, in fact, the reason that we're doing this was to organize everybody to approach the public safety issue of the weeds that are growing in the river. It's a danger to the river safety. It's a danger to the rescue. The boats get jammed up. There's stories about them going out and trying to go someplace, and next thing you know, the boats won't go. There, as Chief O'Donnell said, I can't do my job. Now, as far as that goes, we're looking for funding to get a harvester that actually will go in and rip these weeds out by the roots.
The trash people ought to be able to help you out on that.
Well, in some cases, they use them for cattle feed, composting. Put it in the flower beds. In fact, I did experiments with it and fed it to chickens. They seem to love it. So, just think if you could eat it. Just think if it was healthy.
Well, let me say, Schuylkill River, when I was a kid, I would say, how old is it? 11, 12, 13, 14.
That's when I
I
started.
used to go swimming there. I went fishing there. And Horse Avenue Pier. And about maybe a quarter of a mile up, there was a tree that hung out over the water.
And there was a rope in it. I swung on that.
Huh?
I was on that rope swing.
And we used to go swimming there, so nobody around there, right? It's no man's land. And I used to go swimming there. We didn't have no swimming suits, so we used to swim in the nude, and we called it bare ass beach, And we used to grit that thing, and we used to swing on out there and into the water. And
you know how my mother knew that I was down on the river? Because she could see the coal silt in my hair when I'd come home, and she'd go, "Where were you?" And I says, "Oh, I was down at Buddy's place." He says, "You were in the river, weren't you? Get in the tub and get scribbed up." And I mean, I had the reputation that the river was dangerous.
Yeah.
But I've been in it for
who cares? Who
7
knows that
years
now? But now it's a concern now.
Yeah.
But we used to go swimming up there, and the Schuylkill River means a whole lot to me because, number one, when I did my fishing, I would did down walk the banks.
It's
Then
healthy.
When I became a policeman.
It's healthy.
When I became a policeman, I assisted. I used to drive the Mergency Wagon, and 3 drownings there. We had to use then, at the very beginning, we used the hooks.
The grappling hooks.
Then we used to then they got the divers. So now it's a lot more easier. Now they got guys that go on there and get them up there.
Yeah, they got all the sophisticated
But the
equipment.
Schuylkill River is really a gem that Norristown could use. And now they're working on the Horse Avenue. There they got boat races and stuff like that. So you got to keep it clean.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, the first time I was here, I talked about recycling and the storm drains, and the storm drains go to the river. If people understood more and they walk down the street and they see some trash in the storm drain, it would not hurt you to pick it up and realize that it's going to end up down hurting some animals in the ocean.
Yeah. Well, the borough has clean guys both, and then, I think maybe you ought to just remind them that go by there, clean them out, so them drains so clear water can go through.
And the streets don't flood,
right?
et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's the thing. The Norristown Basin, which is the water that's behind the Norristown Dam, is the second largest compared to Boathouse Row. This is our drinking water.
Well, where's Boathouse Row? What's that?
Oh, that's the lit up place
down Philly.
Yeah, down Philly where they do the rowing and all that
yeah,
stuff.
they have a
the
dam there.
Danville Regatta and all that.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Oh, high muckety muck.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
there's no reason why we can't have muckety muck here.
Sure.
We have the
All you
King's
muckety
Head.
mucks, come on up to Norristown.
Come on up. We'll show you how to do it. Norristown's special place
No,
for
you know,
me.
The one guy, I remember a judge down in Tennessee, and he says, you know, when I have a client come up, or not a client, but whoever it is that had trouble, and then they say, well, what are you? Oh, well, I'm from the upper crust. What do you mean you're from the upper crust? My definition of upper crust is a bunch of crumbs stuck together. So let's be Norristown County seat.
Number one,
We
Norristown.
got diversity.
Yeah.
We got Italians, Catholics, Polish, black, white, green, bop, ba boop, boop. We got everything here.
Kit
You
and
go to
caboodle.
some towns, they're all lily, come on. Let's put Norristown together. Go ahead.
Now, what we have here also is that Wes Norton came out with a, how would you say it, a list of stuff that should not go in the storm drain because it ends up in the river. Now, there's everything from motor oil to grass clippings.
They can't.
Yeah, you can't put it in the storm.
Junkyards,
drain.
junkyards can't. They
No.
get very
No.
restricted
No.
on what they do
No.
with their
Absolutely.
oil and stuff.
Absolutely. And the thing is, even grass clippings are not supposed to be.
Well, here, read
put
off
in
some
it.
of them.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Motor vehicle fluids, household hazardous waste, restaurant waste oil, animal waste, unauthorized sewage discharge, grass clippings and leaf litter, any material other than storm water, only rain down the drain.
Yeah. How about
Only rain down
hospitals?
the
How
drain.
about hospitals? Where they have some.
I can't really answer on that.
No, what to stay away from, we'll find out
well,
more about
well,
it.
see, here's the thing is
I think
that
that's
I'm on
special.
the river. If I see something coming into the river, I know who to call, and not Ghostbusters. I
Yeah.
know who to call. And the DEP is very responsive. I mean, I've brought him out. I mean, in the 60 years I've been doing this, I brought him out a lot of times.
Yeah.
In fact, the last one that I was on the job was a sewer spill into the Stony Creek right by the billboards on the bridge of Main Street.
Yeah,
And that's when I realized how you can turn around
Yeah.
and get response.
Right.
So you know what I did? I called the borough first. I told them what I saw, and I told them my next phone call was going to be to the DEP. I called the
Who's
DEP,
DEP?
the Department of Environmental Protection.
Okay.
They're the police for the waterways, right?
Right.
I called them, and I already told the borough, I'm going to call the Times Herald. I called the Times Herald, and it says, it's right across, you look out your window.
Yeah, look out.
Look at
Right.
me in front of the billboard there at come on down. Well, in 15 minutes, I had a herd of
Yeah.
people around. And my boss shows up. My boss shows up and says, what are you doing here? My partner says to him, you gave him the job. Did you survey it? I mean, come on, you can
You
smell
created
it.
a job.
As soon as I got out of the truck, I could smell it. So, long story short, it got fixed. And
Yeah.
that's what it boils down to,
Yeah.
fix it. We can fix this, we can fix that, and even this. This is graffiti underneath
Oh, that's one thing.
that, I mean, that graffiti's bad. Graffiti's bad. Now, that is Kurt Houston. He's the president of the Valley Forge Watershed. Look at the look on his face.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this about that. When Tommy O'Donnell showed this to Pico, or Exelon,
Yeah.
they will be out there and take care of this. This will not be there.
That graffiti, they should remove it as soon as possible, because this way, whoever that graffiti guy is, they say, hey, somebody's watching. Somebody came here the next day.
Right.
So, and
Well, and the thing is that, I mean, there's a lot of frustration there. There's a lot of people crying out.
yeah.
There's a lot of,
Well,
there's.
if they want to cry, let them cry someplace else.
That's the thing. I mean, realistically, they took the graffiti artists. And they're artists.
I hear
without
these
direction.
people saying, I'm crying out, our country has everything. You help the poor, they help the rich, they help everybody. So when they get around there and smash up on the walls or break windows or so, they should be in jail, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
I don't, I can see demonstrate. I demonstrated myself in the borough, when they didn't want to give us a raise. Nice. But they don't have to go around breaking any windows. They're blocking traffic, so.
It's a heartbreak.
If they got a mental problem, we got mental hospitals. We got people to help out. No excuse.
Well, and the thing is that picture was worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And Pico's going to take care of it. And, as I said, this is going to be an ongoing thing. As far as I'm concerned, this is a 24/7, 365 job.
Well, let me
And,
say,
you know.
the borough has cleanup people. They have different departments. So maybe we have to lean on them to make sure they do the job.
Well,
I don't want to, knock anybody, but I think when I look around, I go through different towns and I see the streets are clean. This is clean, and we come to North and it's not. And we're only 3 square miles, and we have all these departments. So somebody's sitting on their butt, and they should be doing something.
Well,
Amen.
we need another show to talk about that. But what I want,
I need another new show. I need another left hook.
But the thing is, we want to make the people realize when they throw the stuff out of the car windows, that is against the law. And there should be more. You know what? Judge Judy said when she was interviewed by one of those guys.
Who's that?
Judge Judy. He says, what do you think isn't enforced enough? And she said littering.
Right.
Littering.
Right.
I mean, I see signs that say that $1,000 for littering. And yet, in my career with the phone company was almost 40 years, I'd see people walking down the street and they eat their candy and they throw it. The wrapper. And, that ends up, look, here it is here. We got 4 tons of it out of there.
I remember I was a very close friend with Frank Rizzo when he was mayor. And he was going to run for mayor again, and he said to me, why don't you run for mayor in Norristown? He said, I'll come and help campaign for you. I said, well, all right. He says, if you want to be a good mayor, you want to make the town good, make it safe and clean. And that's what we got to do. We're cleaning. Clean the streets. Clean it. You see trees are hanging over a street light. Dangerous. Cut it down. No, you see poles are leaning this way. Do something. Who's supposed to do it?
Well, that brings in another issue.
That's another issue.
Well,
let's put all them issues in one basket.
Well, I could explain it in blunt terms, is that the way corporations are run today, there's a different approach to the managing of them. And it's kind of like they're not really looking at preventive maintenance. Now, you have an automobile. If you don't do preventive maintenance, it breaks down.
Right.
Well, the thing is that we have breakdowns. We have power outages. We have transformers that blow up in the streets.
Right.
I mean, we have fires because of different code things that aren't going. Those are the kind of things that we need to really look at.
Right.
And as the EA, Environmental Advisory Council's main issue is education.
Right.
And we're educating them right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been working together for a long time.
Well, you can say an informed community is a safe community. It's an informed community.
It's educated.
And education.
Right.
It's the same thing with a policeman. Education, training and experience. Put the 3 together and you got somebody. You just can't. If you don't have the education, you don't know what you're doing. You do it, but you don't know how you did it. So it's good that we're getting educated. You're putting all this stuff out there, and people got to grab part of it. Whether it's a Chamber of Commerce, whether it's a Rotary Club, whether it's the community, whether it's volunteers that just like you jump in both feet. Well, that's what we got to do.
Maybe we need to initiate.
So how do we get in touch when to be a volunteer? Tell me how this, tell me about
Well,
this group
the-
of people that you're working with.
I'm working basically with the clubs to get them involved. The ski club, the skiing,
Yeah.
you know, all the activities that are involved on the river. The thing is that what we got to do is we got to get the people up on the hill not to throw their trash, because that ends up in the river. So the thing is that approaching the parks and keeping the trash off the parks, where, you know, I mean, they're doing recreation, they're doing the ball games, you know, they're playing basketball and all that stuff. Why don't they pick up the debris after the game? I mean, they do it at the stadiums, they do
I
it at
saw
the
a
movie
picture
theater.
of this here, the demonstration, not a demo, whatever they had for all these people were there for with the day, the Earth Day.
Right.
And when they left, the place was loaded with all kind of litter.
Yeah.
I mean, they loused it up more than it ever was before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's a question from the audience. Up there, the guy up there with that blue shirt, and here it is. Read it out loud and see if you can answer it.
How has the water in the Norristown changed over the past 30 years? Basically, it's gotten better.
What?
It has gotten better.
Well, because
has
all
gotten
them,
better.
because they had them mills and everything, which throwing stuff in.
Correct, and we
Right.
did.
So what kind of changes was made where factories were throwing garbage or whatever it was?
They were turned in. They were reported, and you know, they brought the authorities down on them. Basically, I had a couple videos that I made back in the early '90s that exposed certain situations, and once you bring them to light, responsible people in responsible positions will take care of it responsibly. So the idea that the people have to be educated of what actually is wrong, then they themselves can learn how to report. And see, here's the greatest thing that I feel about it. When I do something that protects somebody or makes the community better, when I see that, I feel good about it. I mean, that makes me want to do more. And I don't need a pat on the back from somebody else. All I need to do is see that leaning pole that could have hurt somebody is straight and it's been fixed.
All right. What are some of the dates that the programs you're working with? What are some of the outstanding dates that we want people to get involved?
Well, the thing is that May 7th.
May 7th.
If you want to come to Riverfront Park.
That is on Hawes Avenue?
Yeah, on Hawes Avenue.
All right. What's going to happen?
We're going to have a big cleanup there of the park. We're going to have the wood chippers that have been donated, and geez, I forgot who they're donated by. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But anyhow, they're donating it. We're going to trim up and clean up Riverfront Park. We're going to have people that are qualified to handle machinery. They're going to remove a lot of the undercover, the debris, so that you can actually see the river.
Right.
It's going to get rid of the invasive species that we can. People that don't handle the machinery are going to be dragging the stuff to the chippers, and we want to get the trail over to Buttonwood Street, which was part of the 1990
make the river
study.
a place to swim, to boating, picnic, and everything else. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Now,
You know.
here's one from the lady with the green dress. And no, she has a red jacket on there. She has a question here. What is the local government's responsibility in the environment issues? That is important. We pay taxes to have people working. We pay them to do the job. We have to look and see first if they're doing their job. If they're not doing a job, we got to start bending elbows, okay? I think that's important because the volunteers are out there doing it. They're putting their, well, I won't say they're putting their life on the line, but they're putting their time on the line, okay? And so what is their responsibility? They have departments to take care of this. They got the health department, you got the police department, you got all kinds of departments. What can they do? Or what should they do? What aren't they doing?
I believe.
I ain't talking about Norristown.
yeah.
We're talking about all the towns along the river.
Bottom line, not everyone can live upstream. Everyone has to realize that we all live downstream. What dumps in up in Reading ends up in Pottstown. What dumps up in Pottstown ends up in Norristown. What dumps in Norristown ends up down in Manayunk, et cetera, until it kills stuff in the ocean. Now, I have a couple of other videos that I'm going to put on YouTube that I think may help educate people. Real-Time TV is the YouTube site that I have. That's REEL, which means it all has to do with water. We have fishing for cars. When I found a car underneath the bridge in the Stony Creek, and they took it out fishing for cars.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they pulled it right out over the bridge. And there's the other one, the Stony Creek Anglers. Chaz Wood explains how they raise 20,000 fish a year.
I noticed last time I was down on the Hawes Avenue where they have I guess they call a landing where you can put your boats in.
Yeah.
They developed that. They got a little pier there.
Yeah.
So it's starting to. So
well, here's the thing.
now we got 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Okay.
And what do we want to do?
Economic development comes along with cleaning up the river.
Right.
Everyone needs economic development. The Dragon Boat crew is
Right.
fantastic. That's a national event. We
Right.
can bring some fantastic events here
Right.
on our river. I
We
mean,
are-
the Port India Regatta used to be fantastic. I was in the ski shows. That brought $1 million in commerce for the weekend. It was
All right,
Mardi
so we're
Gras.
going to wrap up the show. And the river is going to be good for swimming. It's going to be good for boating. We're
And
gonna say-
drinking.
And drinking, yeah.
Drink-
all right.
Number
yeah.
one, no boil water advisories
That
ever
water
again.
eventually becomes drinking water. So
You
let's
got
keep it clean. So then we can say, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay, ladies, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing us to come in. And come on, let's jump in. If you have the time to volunteer to help clean up the banks of the Schuylkill River. So until we meet again, keep bobbing and weaving, slip and slide, left hand high, keep your chunks off the campus, and may God bless each and every one. Adios, amigos, here.
Thank you, Rob.
Get your bell there.
Here we go. I'll drink to that.
Here's to your health. Drink to your health.
Salute.
All right, as you know, I am the ambassador of Norristown. If you get any parking tickets today, mention my name, pay the fine. Okay, here we go. Thank you.